What's going on, everybody? I hope you're having an amazing weekend. As always, I'm here to talk about the mainstream, breaking story that everybody's so happy about is that a bunch of top companies are cutting ties with the NRA. So I want to talk about it, bring some common sense, honesty, a bunch of things that apparently aren't really accepted in society anymore, in the cult-like behavior that everybody is, showing us and subjecting us to. I wanted to just enjoy my weekend. I'm still going to, but, I felt compelled to speak about this real quick. So let's wait about 20 more seconds for people to get into the live stream. As always, you can follow me on Instagram at DreamRare, DreamRare. You can follow me on Twitter at Legendary Energy, and check the comment section. As soon as I'm done live streaming, I'm going to post a few links, my email list, which is free. Please sign up so we can stay connected regardless what happens on social media. I'm also going to post all my social media links if you'd like to check those out. And then I'm going to post my donation link if you'd like to support. So, once again, let's wait about 20 more seconds for people to get into the live stream. The story today is that there's like 15 or so major companies cutting ties with the NRA. And I have to be honest, I could care less about the NRA. If you would have asked me 2 weeks ago, what do you think about the NRA, or a month ago, how do you feel about the NRA? I'd be like, nah, I don't really care. I'm not a big fan of guns, to be honest. I'm not in the NRA. I'm not a member or anything. So I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, blah, 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 whatever people say all the time. So I'm just giving it to you straightforward. Like, I know it's strange. Like nowadays, if you bring any sort of honesty and you bring any sort of truth and you bring any sort of common sense against the mainstream media agenda, which has no truth, no honesty, and no common sense, everybody freaks out at you. They start calling you all these names. I guess that's how far people are brainwashed. I guess I believe people are smart. I believe they're individual beings with mind, bodies, and souls. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're living in some sort of alternate, four-dimensional reality where we're living amongst robots and mind-controlled zombies who can't think for themselves. Facebook thinks for them. CNN thinks for them. MSNBC thinks for them. Twitter tells them how to feel. Because I just don't understand this. So just to let you know, here's all the companies if you would like to, accordingly speak to them or not use them. The companies that have recently cut ties with the NRA include Delta Airlines, United Airlines, Hertz Car Rental Service, Avis Car Rental Service, Enterprise, Alamo National, TrueCar, First National Bank of Omaha, Sirva, MetLife, Symantec, Simpler Life, Chubb, Wyndham Hotel Group. So there's a bunch of companies that are boycotting the NRA and cutting ties with the NRA. And, as always, they're virtue signaling. They're like, we're such good people that we're going to cut ties with the NRA because that's the right thing to do. And we're such a good company. We're Delta. We're United Airlines, and we care about people, and we love America, and we care about the children, and we care about school safety, so we're going to cut ties with the NRA. First of all, I have a lot to say on this topic, but first of all, even if everything you think is true about the NRA and about safety and about security, Delta, you're cutting a discount, a coupon discount that you had with NRA members. You think you're having this huge impact on society by cutting out a coupon savings that you have with the NRA? I mean, I'm so sick and tired of these virtue signaling losers who are just giving into the cult-like behavior of society. They think they're such great people for literally bending over backwards, having no spine, and just pretending like they care about people once a year. If anybody's rode any airlines, they don't care about you whatsoever, obviously. But anytime we're going to cut the coupon discounts with the NRA because we're such great people and you're such bad people. First of all, once again, none of these cutting your ties, it's not going to make schools safer. It's not going to make the country safer. It's just a bunch of virtue signaling from businesses who want to pretend like they're good people so they can make more money and continue to exploit you. You're going to ride with us. But they've caught themselves in a pickle like the NFL and like many others. The NRA has 5 million members. President Trump has hundreds of millions of supporters. Hundreds of millions. I'm not exaggerating. He's got hundreds of millions of supporters. They're all over the liberal cities. They're clearly in Middle America and in other places. But a lot of people don't want to speak out because they don't want to receive the backlash from these lunatics, like the people who pressured all these companies into boycotting the NRA. So let's look at this situation again, because I mean, regardless of how you feel about gun control, I already told you the truth. You can make up a bunch of things if you would like. I don't care about the NRA. To be honest, you asked me a month ago, I don't care. I don't care for guns. I'm not a huge gun fanatic. I could care less about the NRA. I'm just telling you the truth. I know people are such cult-like, sheep-like followers that they just go right with what the news tells them. They do what Facebook tells them. They do what's cool and socially acceptable. And the second you say something against that, oh my God, what are you, Fox News? No, I don't care about the NRA. I don't really care about guns. I'm just letting you know you guys are full of it. Let's look at the situation again. I've said this multiple times in multiple live streams, but every day more ridiculous evidence comes out, and it makes you really question what truly happened at the Parkland school and who was truly behind it. But we find out a week and a half later, after they do this town hall, after they do this grandstanding, boycott the NRA if you're a good person, we find out that there was not only an armed guard at the school who hid outside, he didn't go in the school, there were 3 cops there outside, so 3 cops and an armed guard outside the school who didn't go in. I mean, hello, even if you're the biggest gun control fanatic where you're like, we need to take guns away, we need no automatic weapons, we need no NRA, even if you're that person, even if you're the person that hates the NRA, are you not a little bit perturbed, a little bit confused, a little bit at ends with the fact that there were 3 police officers outside of the school doing nothing? I mean, are they cowards? If they're cowards, maybe they should resign from the police force because they don't belong in the police force. If they're cowards at best. At worst, are they purposely standing down? Did they let the kid just massacre a bunch of kids? Like, what is it? Are they cowards, or are they just set up, psyops to just sit there and let the kids get shot up so then they can immediately be like, oh, it's the NRA's fault? I mean, one way or the other. At best, they're cowards. At worst, they knew exactly what was going on. The FBI had multiple tips. There's reports coming out that the FBI had multiple reports, including one that a transcript came out. It was in Zero Hedge and a lot of other news sites, where the woman literally told the FBI, she said, this kid is going to shoot up the school. He said on YouTube under an alias that wasn't even an alias. It was his own name. He said, I'm going to be the best school shooter. He's all over his Instagram and stuff. He's pro-ISIS, and he's got all this stuff. She literally told the FBI that this kid was pro-ISIS, and he was going to shoot up the school. So is Delta and United and Hertz and Avis, are you trying to be real activists? Because a real activist would say, what are the 3 police officers and the armed guard doing hiding outside the school? How come the FBI failed to act on this? I mean, at what point do you be honest about it? Even if you care about gun control, even if you think gun control could have prevented the incident, don't you think that 3 cops hiding outside like cowards could fix the incident? Don't you think the fact that the FBI had ridiculous tips where they're like, not only is this kid a threat, but he's going to shoot up the school. Literally, the girl called them and said, he's going to shoot the school up. And they're like, nah, it's not a big deal. We're not going to investigate it. And then President Trump tweets that out and he says, what's the FBI doing? How come they're not investigating this? How come they're attacking me with Russian collusion instead? And then all liberal media and progressive media and the Young Turks, they go viral on Facebook because they're like, oh, President Trump's such a bad guy for tweeting that. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, that's so cool. Like, that's how stupid people are. Because everything he said was true. Why is the FBI not looking at that? Why are they investigating all this non-existent Russia collusion instead of actually doing their job and preventing school shootings? So how come none of that comes into the equation? How come the first thing right out the gate is, oh, we're going to cut ties with the NRA? What does the NRA have to do with this? Even if the kid did the whole thing, what is the National Rifle Association or whatever? I don't even know what the NRA stands for, to be honest, because I could care less. What do they have to do with it? Even if they had to do with it, what is you cutting out coupons? Oh, well, now we're not going to give them discounts and we're really helping. No, you're not. You're all full of shit. You guys are all cowards. You guys are all cult-like, sheep-like zombies who just kowtow to society just to pretend like you're a good person because you're not really good people. Delta and United Airlines could care less about their customers. They just pretend like they do twice a year so they could get more support. Oh, haha, let's 50,000 retweets. Oh, Delta's so good now, huh? I'm gonna ride Delta because I'm a moron. Like, that's literally all it is. There's no truth in it. There's no honesty. There's no common sense. There's no plan. There's no logic of how they're gonna stop this, because they don't actually want to stop this. If they stop school shootings, who's gonna vote Democrat? Who's going to vote in people who aren't going to change gun control? Because when they had a filibuster-proof Congress or Senate or both, they didn't do it. They don't care. They don't actually care. When they had the chance to stand up against illegal immigration and for Dreamers, they didn't do it because they were sounding exactly like President Trump. You can find clips of every Democrat talking like President Trump, because when it was cool to do that, they did that. When it was cool to be anti-LGBT, they were anti-LGBT. That you can find clips of all of them saying, we condemn gay marriage. Until now, they're like, ha, rainbow flag. Like, they're just lying. They're a bunch of cowards. They're a bunch of frauds. And cutting ties with the NRA is not in any way, shape, or form going to stop these shootings, especially when a week and a half after, it comes out that there's 3 cops just sitting outside. I mean, if you're a cop, this is what you train for. You go in that side of the school. I go in that side of the school. You go in that side of the school. One of us will get this kid. I mean, 3-on-1. It's not that hard if you're a trained cop versus a psychopath like 17-year-old. It shouldn't be that hard, but these people don't care. So my question is, were you purposely standing down? Was this a setup? Did you purposely let this kid massacre these kids so you could blame it on the NRA? Or are you complete cowards? Because at best, they're just complete cowards. And what type of coward gets in front of the CNN town hall and blames everything on the NRA when he knows that his own police officers didn't enter the school and they literally just stood there as a bunch of little kids were being massacred? That's his police force, and he has the gall to go on CNN town hall and say all this stuff. But it's no surprise. I mean, you see pictures of this guy. He's got smiling pictures with Hillary Clinton. They got smiling pictures with Bernie Sanders. The same kid who's filming, he's filming gun control interviews in the closet while there's an active shooter. What type of a psychopath, even at best, is filming gun control interviews when there's an active shooter? Most people would be quiet. At best, they'd be like, hey, what do you know about this guy? Are we going to find him? There's no person on the planet besides a psychopath or a literal setup that would be filming gun control interviews in the closet with an active shooter. You find out later his mom has CNN VIP passes. He's got CNN shirts on. I mean, this is not a conspiracy. I'm not attacking the kid. I'm not telling anybody to send them death threats. That's terrible. But, I mean, is it not obvious? Like, am I supposed to be that stupid that because Facebook and Twitter and YouTube keeps taking down my videos, that I'm supposed to just go along with it and be like, oh, I'm wrong, you're right, because you're censoring me and taking away my First Amendment and my Second Amendment, so yeah, you're totally right now. No, I'm not that stupid. I'm sorry. More and more evidence comes out about it, and it's creepy. If there was a little 17-year-old kid in the closet filming NRA commercials, like during the active shooter, and he's like, don't you think we should be arming students? And then you find out his dad worked for Donald Trump, and his dad worked for the FBI, and his dad's taking him on Fox News VIP passes, I would say the same thing, because guess what? I am not a moron, okay? It would be the same thing. If someone was in the closet filming gun control and he was like, yeah, we got to arm the teachers, and then you find out later that he's doing VIP Fox News things, I would say the same thing. But you're not allowed to question the left. You're allowed to hate on the right. You're allowed to kill people and blame it on Republicans. You're literally allowed to shoot up schools. You're allowed to shoot up churches. As long as you blame it on Republicans and conservatives and libertarians and honest left-leaning people, that's totally okay. You could do whatever you want. Go massacre, hundreds of millions of people. It's all fine. You could bring apart a communist regime that literally destroys the whole world. That's great. That's what they want you to do. That's what the news wants you to do. The second that you actually tell the truth or say anything about the left or the mainstream media, everybody will start attacking you. They will say, that was sarcasm, by the way. Obviously, violence is never the answer, and never do anything bad to people. I'm just saying that CNN would love for you to do that. And I wish I was lying. I wish I was making that up. I wish it was some sort of joke, but they really don't care. They love when people get massacred, but they don't want to literally look at it objectively. I don't care if it's left or right. I'm just seeing what's the deal, and they don't want me to see that. And blaming the NRA for one kid shooting up a school while the police just stood there and watched him makes absolutely no sense, because we tried a war on drugs. We have cocaine is illegal, heroin is illegal, a lot of Pills are illegal. Do people stop doing them? No, they're all over the place. They're all over the streets, and potentially worse than a lot of other places. They're everywhere because you can't stop them from coming in by making them illegal. Blaming the NRA is not going to stop guns from coming to the United States. It's not going to stop automatic guns from coming to the United States. And the irony, as I said in the tweet that I posted earlier, is that the same people that want to blame the NRA and blame gun control, they're the same people who scream at President Trump or scream at conservatives when they say we need to up border security. Or they disagree with Chuck Schumer 5 years ago because he was saying the same thing, and all the Democrats are saying the same thing. So, like, what part of any of this stuff makes sense? Taking discount coupons away from Delta NRA members? Do you think you're a big hero? Meanwhile, you're calling for open borders and no border security, but you want to take guns away from Americans and make it harder for Americans to get guns? You think they're going to stop flowing in? No, they'll come in through Mexico. They'll come in on planes. They'll come in all over the place. People will make them with, 3D printers or, find a distributor on the black market, just like when they tried to do the alcohol prohibition. It didn't work because then the black market alcohol thing became a thing. So you're never going to stop. I mean, I wish all weapons could just disappear from the face of the earth. Honestly, I wish there were no weapons and we could all live in peace and harmony. That's my utopia. My utopia isn't filled with 50 million guns either, but I'm not a moron, okay? So stop pretending like you're a good person. Just write moron on your head, right? I'm a fake activist moron. Every Delta, the Delta CEO should write, I'm a fake activist, liar, coward, complete moron. Write it on your forehead, go out and do the press conference and be like, because I'm a complete coward and I'm a complete moron and I have no backbone, I'm now announcing that Delta is cutting coupons for NRA because I'm United Airlines, I'm Hertz, I'm Delta, and we're all a bunch of spineless, cowardly morons. Thank you guys so much. And then all the other cowardly morons will cheer. They'll be like, yes, that's our king cowardly moron who doesn't care about kids and who's going to let people get massacred because they have no sort of common sense or logic or anything that mattered. So just be honest about it. That's all I'm asking. If you're going to be a coward, if you're going to be a moron, if you're going to be an ignorant, piece of crap, zombie, just admit it. Just write it in your Twitter bio, write it on your news. Stop acting like you're some sort of huge activist for attacking the NRA for something that they have nothing to do with. And there's 5 million NRA members. There's 100 million plus people who are not complete morons. People hit me up all the time. They have little Bernie Sanders logos on their Twitter, and they're like, these people are making me into Trump supporters. Like, I like Trump now because I'm so sick and tired of the BS. So keep ignoring the silent majority. Keep kowtowing to the liberal elites and keep kowtowing to the stupidest people in society who can't tell left from right, and see how it works out from you. It didn't work out this election. It's probably not going to work out in the 2018 midterms. And what the heck is going on when this becomes a mainstream thing and anybody who says otherwise is like immediately, oh, well, you gotta boycott the NRA. I hope this tanks all of these companies, and I could care less about the NRA because, to be honest, I'm just so sick and tired of the BS. Nothing about cutting coupons and cutting discounts to the NRA is going to stop a school shooting. The NRA had nothing to do with the shooting. If you want to point some blame and be a rebel, look at the police officers who didn't do anything. Look at the intelligence communities who had intel on this, and they decided to do other things instead of actually investigate it. I mean, at what point do you say, maybe they wanted it to happen? I mean, I can't think. Either they're complete cowards or they purposely wanted it to happen. It's one or the other. So at best, they're complete cowards. And I'm not saying it's a hard job, but you don't take that job of a police officer if in the time when kids are getting massacred, you sit and hide outside the school. How come Delta and United and Hertz and Avis and Enterprise and TrueCar and First National Bank of Omaha and Cerva and MetLife and Symantec and Simple Life and Chubb and Wyndham Hotel Group, how come you guys won't talk about that? The fact that the police officers just let them get massacred. And what part of gun control do you think is going to stop guns? How stupid are you? How stupid are you people? When are you going to stop being stupid and look in the mirror? Because we're sick and tired of it. I mean, why aren't drugs disappeared from the United States? There's been a war on drugs. The government spent billions upon trillions of dollars to stop drugs. How come they didn't stop? Because a war on drugs doesn't work. Just like a war on guns and a war on the NRA is not going to work. It's going to make it worse. I guarantee you, gun sales are through the roof this last week. I guarantee you the NRA is going up in membership. You're always helping the cause you're trying to stop. Every single time. Oh, we're going to stop Donald Trump. No, you elected Donald Trump. You elevated him and you elected Donald Trump. We're going to stop the white supremacists and the neo-Nazis. No, you gave the white supremacists and the neo-Nazis a platform, and now they're surging because you nonstop talk about them all the time, and you're so stupid. So it's like everything that the mainstream media tries to do, it backfires in their stupid little faces because they're complete cowards and complete morons. You're not going to stop it by banning it. Oh, drugs, murdering people is illegal, and people still do it because those type of people don't care. And guns are not going to disappear. There's hundreds of millions of guns in the United States. They're not going to disappear. You're not going to be able to take them away from people. If somebody wants to commit a crime, they could do it with a gun. They could do it with a car. They could do it with a knife. They could do it with a bomb. I'm sorry, this is just a sad reality that we live in. There's no guns in the UK. How come people are getting acid attacked? And how come people are blowing up Ariana Grande concerts? Is there a law against blowing up kids at Ariana Grande concerts? Of course there is. But guess what? Those people don't care. Okay? The person who committed that crime didn't care that it was illegal to blow up kids at an Ariana Grande concert. So your virtue signaling with all of these companies doesn't actually matter. And guess what? The dumbest thing you could possibly do is say, we need to take guns away from the NRA, and the NRA is bad, and Americans with guns are bad. Meanwhile, then it's like, hey, do you want to stop guns from flowing into the country? Because then, maybe a border wall or extra security or more money at the border would help guns not, guns not coming into the country. And those same people are like, no, open borders, no, it's racist. Oh, my wall's racist, and border security is racist. So this is how stupid, you couldn't possibly be stupider. The modern day brainwashed mainstream media zombie couldn't possibly be dumber. It's a far cry from the JFK days. It's a far cry from the Bill Clinton days. It's even a far cry from the Obama days. Barack Obama wasn't this stupid. He did a lot of messed up stuff, but even him, he wasn't that dumb on illegal immigration and border security. He wasn't that stupid and naive, even as liberal as he was. This is like peak level stupidity. This is peak level embarrassment. This is so freaking pathetic, and it's so pathetic that all of these companies and all of the social media sites are complicit because they're all afraid to be real men and real women. They're like, we're such cowards, and we're going to kowtow to what's popular because CNN controls us. Get a freaking spine, Delta and United and Hertz. You guys are such losers. How does this strategy make sense? Okay, so no travel ban. Travel bans are racist and sexist and xenophobic. So no travel bans. Just let ISIS members come to the U.S. because even Justin Trudeau admitted they're not ISIS members, they're travelers. And ISIS members are just like Italians. That's what he literally said. I'm not making this up. He said ISIS members are just travelers and they're no different than Italian immigrants. So let ISIS members into the United States. Have no border security, so let guns, literally, where do you think guns would come from if you made them illegal in the United States? Either from a black market like during Prohibition with alcohol, or they'd be coming from Mexico, so no borders, calling for guns. I don't know what else to say besides there's like a communist totalitarianism agenda being pushed by CNN, by the mainstream media, and Delta, United, Hertz, Avis, Enterprise, TrueCar, First Bank of Omaha, Servo, MetLife, Symantec, Simple Life, Chubb, and Wyndham Hotel Group are complicit. They're no better than communists now. And I wish that was an exaggeration. I know that they're just playing along to try to be trendy and be like, we don't want to offend anybody, so we're good people. But you're not helping because the agenda of the mainstream media makes no sense. If they said, we need gun control, but then we need border security so guns don't get in, I would at least be like, you know what, that makes slightly more sense to me than what you're saying now. But nothing that they're saying, there's nothing about anything that makes sense. It's literally backwards land. We're living in a video game where the truth is the opposite. Everything is just totally twisted, and that's normal for people. And if you say the truth, everyone gets mad at you. They're like, what's wrong with you for telling the truth? We're just going to let people massacre our kids, and it's no problem because it's Delta took away discounts from the NRA, so that's really going to stop guns in the country. How stupid do you have to be to believe this nonsense? It's beyond parody. You are a meme of yourself. You are now a parody of yourself. You are a joke, a big joke, and hundreds of millions of people know it. They're not going to be featured on Twitter. They're not going to be featured on Facebook, but guess what? They're going to be voting. And a lot of these people are probably going to go buy more guns now. So now you raised gun sales, you raised support in the NRA, you lost more votes. I mean, what part of this makes any sort of sense? Every single day I get messages from progressive, left-leaning Bernie Sanders supporters who are sick and tired of the BS, who are like, I like Trump now, I like Trump now, I like Trump now. It's not because Trump's the greatest, perfect person in the world. It's just because everyone else is so stupid. When you have a guy who has like somewhat of common sense versus a bunch of people who are like, we're going to ban guns from Americans, and that's going to stop it. It's not going to stop it. It didn't work with the war on drugs. It didn't work by making drugs illegal, and it's certainly not going to work if the same people calling for gun control in America are calling for open borders at the border. How dumb can you be? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard all year, besides the other 50 dumb things that get broadcasted all the time. So Delta, you're cowards. United, you're cowards. Hertz, you're cowards. Avis, you're cowards. Enterprise, you're cowards. TrueCar, you're cowards. First National Bank of Omaha, you guys are cowards. Serva, cowards. MetLife, cowards. You're all a bunch of kowtowing, sociopathic cowards who have no sort of integrity or no sort of honesty. The NRA had nothing to do with this event. They had nothing to do with it. Why are they getting blamed? Why is there how come police officers get blamed when, they kill somebody, something happens, it's like a black on white crime or a white on black crime, the police officer gets blamed, and it's national headlines for a year. He was arguing with the police, and the police killed him, and he shouldn't kill him. It's national headlines for a year, and the police get blamed. It's the police fault. It's the police fault. You have riots in St. Louis. It's all the police fault. And kids get massacred at a school, and there's 3 cops sitting outside, probably white cops, not that I care about their race, but the liberals do so bad. The white liberals are so racist that that's all that matters. They were probably white cops, and they sat there while kids were getting massacred. How come there's not activist riots against the police? You only care when one police kills one guy? You don't care when 3 police allow 17 kids to get massacred? This is why none of these things make sense. The mainstream media controls the minds of people. They tell St. Louis when to protest. They tell white liberals when to be mad. They tell everybody when to be mad at the NRA. They tell everybody they tell you when to be mad at conservatives. They don't care about the police. Where are all the police riots now? Where are all the police protests now? And I'm not saying to protest the police or to protest anybody. I'm not telling you what to do or how to think. But what I am telling you is Facebook and Twitter tells you how to think. Delta, United, Hertz, all of these companies, complete cowards. I could go on all day. I'm so sick and tired of it. Nothing about what you're doing today is ever going to help any kid. You're never going to stop this from happening again. As a matter of fact, you're promoting this type of stuff. You guys promote it in all the music that you guys promote. You promote it in all the movies that you promote. You promote it in all the video games that you promote. You nonstop talk about it for 5 months, and then you wonder why it happens again, because you didn't solve the problem. You didn't look at the root of the problem, which is mental health and law enforcement hearing about this guy for a month and doing nothing about it. All of the preventable things that could have prevented this, you don't care about. You attack 5 million innocent Americans who have nothing to do with it. You think gun control is going to work in the United States, even though drug control didn't work in the United States, and nothing that they've ever tried to ban has ever worked ever, and it's never going to work for guns. It's not going to work. I'm sorry. No matter how much you try and how much you push, no matter how many companies get along with this, no matter how many guns you take away, no matter how you could raise the limit to 55, you can make it illegal to purchase every single gun, and you're never going to stop this because it's just not how it works. No matter how much you lie to yourself, it's never going to make it true. Just like you said in the polls, it's 99% sure Trump's going to win. You lied all year. You lied for 2 years. You lied for 3 years. And the result is, I'm so confused. How am I so confused? It's because Facebook's lying, just like Kanye West said. Twitter's lying. Google's lying every single day. All of the mainstream media is lying. CNN's lying. That's why everyone's so confused. How could Trump be in office? Because everybody that you know and love is lying to you every single day. And they're mind controlling you like little zombies. Be mad at this. Be mad at this. Be mad at this. Attack them. Open borders. Gun control. Oh yeah, that's really going to work. What a brilliant idea. Oh, no border wall and no border security. But we're going to raise the age of guns, and that's going to stop people from getting guns. How stupid could you be? How stupid. I mean, it's just beyond the point of parody. It's just beyond the point of embarrassing. It's just beyond the point of pathetic. And I don't want to see any violence. I don't want to see any negativity. But I'm hard-pressed to think that the news doesn't. I don't think they're on the same page with me because they're not trying to stop it. They just virtue signal. They act like good people and then act confused when this type of stuff happens. One, you're never going to be able to stop every single situation. Crime has significantly gone down over the past 20, 30 years. We've done a good job as a society, and I'm sure we could do a little better. But I just don't understand where they're getting at this, and it's just so pathetic at this point. I mean, I'm just so sick and tired of living in a country where half the country is literally like brain-controlled zombies, and nothing matters anymore. Truth doesn't matter, honesty doesn't matter, integrity doesn't matter, common sense doesn't matter. And I hope all of these companies suffer greatly financially from this spineless, cowardly act of basically just kowtowing to society. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing weekend. I hope this doesn't upset you as much as it upset me. But if you're any sort of decent person, seeing this ridiculous communist agenda that they're pushing, and I can't sugarcoat it anymore. It's nothing short of communist, because at least if you're like, take the guns away, but we're going to up border security, and we're going to make sure everybody's safe, and we're going to make sure the police and the FBI does their job, I could get down with that. I could be like, okay, at least you care about people. But every single thing that they do makes no sense. And if you think that I'm lying, and if you're watching this and you're saying, oh, well, I follow people who say otherwise, tell them to debate me. I reach, 12, 15 million people a week, 200 million views last year. I probably have a bigger audience than them, so they can't use the, I'm above him type of thing, So I'm just saying that so you can let them know that it's worth their time. Let them debate me. Let's have a platform. Let's raise money and donate it to charity and donate it to kids' schools and give them more books or more safety or more education, whatever you want to do. But let's have a conversation, because I'm sick and tired of social media being taken over by complete, spineless, dishonest cowards. Thank you guys so much. Have a good week. I'm going to post my links below.